Hello, welcome to another Doctor Who rebrief. This week we looked at the Reign of Terror. As you can see, the Doctor is wearing a very fetching costume in this serial. Rob, what happened?
So it's 6 episodes long. The Doctor promises to take Barbara and Ian home, lands them, and they're nearly there. They've landed in France during the French Revolution. And then there's a series of kidnappings by the royalists and the non-royalists, and some people get held at gunpoint. It was very confusing. A lot of people got kidnapped and then released, and then different members of the team got kidnapped. So at one point, like, Barbara was held, and then she was released, and then Ian was held.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I think unless you know your French history, you're going to get a little bit confused about which side's which. Because first of all, they got captured by some revolutionaries.
Yeah, the two on the run you assume are revolutionaries,
Yeah.
because they're on the run from the military.
Then some soldiers turn up and capture them, apart from the Doctor, who's been knocked unconscious up in the house. And they get arrested.
And they set the house on fire.
They set the house on fire.
And then take the rest of the team to the guillotine.
Yeah. And they get put in prison.
executed.
Then they escape. Barbara and Susan escape with some help from some more revolutionaries. But the revolutionaries, so I assumed initially that they were the peasants.
I've got no idea.
But they're not. They're the royalists. This is the point in French history when the regular people, I suppose, have already uprisen and overthrown the monarchy.
Yeah.
So it's all very confusing, and there's lots of escaping of jail and stuff.
And then there's a few people who switch sides between the revolutionaries and the royalists. And a lot of people get shot with some old school muskets. It's pretty cool.
And in the very last episode, Napoleon Bonaparte turns up. So that's nice. And he's not short, which is historically accurate, because he wasn't short. That's a myth.
Well, there you go.
That's what happened. What did you guys think? Chris, what did you think?
I was really disappointed. Right, I really struggled with that episode, and I'm a 20-something person who's been to school. If I watched that as a child to learn about French history, I would just be so confused. People are constantly double-crossing each other to the point where it's like not even that big a reveal when someone's on the opposing team. It's really just messy. I think the interesting thing about it, the better things about it is the Doctor's on his own for a lot of it, and that's quite nice because you see him acting under his own control. He's kind of doing his own thing, and you see what he's like when the other three aren't around, which is quite interesting. He gets into all sorts of scrapes. It's kind of a bit funny, but I just thought it was a bit pants. But thanks for buying the DVD, Phil.
That's right. All right. How did you guys feel?
I didn't think it was amazing either. It felt like it was just a lot of being put in prison and then getting out of prison and then being put back in prison or going back for someone else who's in prison to release them.
Yeah, it took a long time. I think this is a good example of why these sort of straight historicals sort of died out after William Hartnell's time. I don't even think there were really any in Patrick Troughton's, certainly not many. Nowadays, if there's a historical episode, you get some alien involvement or some supernatural, something a bit, werewolf, something.
Blind T-Rex.
Yeah, so I think that this is possibly the reason. Aztecs was okay. That was alright. So yeah, that's what I think. Did either of you have any highlights?
I really liked the fact that they animated episodes 4 and 5 because the video's gone missing, but they've got the audio, and they decided to animate them. And actually, it looked quite good. Like, it had a quite cel-shaded style. It meant that scenes like when there's a shootout, when there's guns firing, looked more convincing than when they actually filmed it in the 60s, and it looked a bit pants. Like, you can actually make those sort of scenes look good. So the best thing I enjoyed about this series is the episodes that had gone missing.
For a lot of the episodes, they just left Susan in a jail cell, which was great because she's just a sickly child. She just whines anyway and just gets in everyone's way and slows them down. So they decided to just leave her in a jail cell.
She had a mysterious illness for most of this, and I'm not sure where it came from or
what happened to it.
No, just went away.
Not
Just
referenced.
turned up and went away. My highlight was probably because there's been this kind of underlying. You think something's probably going on between Ian and Barbara. Something's probably going on between Ian and Barbara, and I think we've all thought that since the very first episode, but it's never been
Steamy.
quite shown on screen to any full extent. And there was this moment right in the first episode where they've just come out of the TARDIS and they've been left alone, so the Doctor and Susan have gone off, and they're having this conversation. They're getting quite close.
It was really intimate.
Really tense. There was some tense moments there. It's getting quite steamy, and you could tell they were almost about to kiss.
Well, we're still not home.
No, we're not, are we? Still, I do think he tried this time, even if it was out of bad temper.
So we stay with the ship.
So close.
And then Susan
So close.
calls out Ian and Barbara or something, and then
Funnily enough, no. I don't know. Depends where we are. I still could be.
breaks the tension, and that's it.
Classic Susan.
So, lowlights.
Mine would be Ian's character in this story arc, especially when he gets overpowered by a French peasant child, just
Yeah.
throws him to the ground. He's risen the Aztec ranks to become Lord Warrior. He's fought cavemen with his bare hands. He's shot French revolutionists, but peasant child floored him.
So yeah, related to, I think, the peasant boy. I think he's my lowlight. It's just such wooden acting. It's really bad. I'm not even going to try and mimic it. I was going to, but then I thought, no, it's just too bad. He's just really wooden, and I hope he's not watching this now, as an old man.
Yeah, how old would he be now?
This was the 60s, so it was 50 years ago, so he'd be maybe
In his
60s,
60s,
yeah.
60s, early 70s maybe.
Still trying to make it.
You see, there were two men hiding in the house. One of them knocked you over the head. Then the soldiers came. The two men were shot and your friends arrested.
So yeah, he was my low light. What about you, Chris?
Come by this.
Yeah.
On the front, you'll see the Doctor is wearing a very fetching coat. He goes to get that from a tailor, who later is kind of crucial, important to the plot. But the scene where he goes to the tailor's to get this French revolutionary coat is just so long, and it's indicative of the whole set of 6, which is just oversat, like too long. It's all too spread out. There's too little thing to be spread out over 6 episodes, and him spending 5 minutes in a tailor's like bartering for a coat was just the most boring thing I've seen in like easily the last few series of Doctor Who. The last few set of serials we've watched, that was just so mind-numbingly boring. So I would probably say that. I wasn't a big fan.
So, Hoologies. Who has died in these episodes? What has died in these episodes that you want to pay tribute to?
I'm going to say the slaver, right? Here's the thing. It's never actually said that he's a slaver. He could just be a boss. And not all bosses need to get involved with the manual labour. Sometimes you need a foreman. And the Doctor basically murders a foreman because he's teaching his mates how to build a road or whatever
With a
they're doing.
spade.
Yeah, the Doctor's like, ooh, there's a coin in the ground, my friend. And the foreman's like, oh, I'll have that. And then the Doctor's like, whammy, with his...
Yeah, but he's still alive at the end of it, isn't he?
I thought he died.
No, he's just sleeping.
I'm pretty sure he's just asleep.
You sure? Well, I'm going to assume he died because he's left for dead on the road 5k from Paris.
Is this a continuation of your theory from the very first pilot that the Doctor has murdered the policeman that goes into the the junkyard?
Good
at the
reference,
beginning?
I'd forgotten about that.
Do you think he's just a serial psychopath that likes killing people?
I think he thinks everyone's as hardy as he is, and actually humans are quite weak in comparison to Time Lords. So I think he murdered that guy who was actually only just trying to get them on to build the road.
I think my eulogy has to be pretty much everyone. You'll just get shot in the end, don't they? One way or another. I think it was probably the most
Well,
death.
it was the French Revolution. I think there's,
Yeah.
bound to be quite a lot of deaths.
But it didn't have to happen.
So my eulogy is Webster. Anybody else?
Webster?
Who's Webster?
The dictionary.
Yeah, the dictionary. Sad dictionary. Did not notice it. Fell off the bookshelf. No, Webster was the cellmate of Ian that died. Passing him on
Emotion.
a task, a secret mission.
Promise to find James Sterling.
To hunt out someone and pass on a message to him, which then carried through the rest of the serial, as Ian escapes and tries to track down this guy. But yeah, this guy just died in his cell, fighting for a cause he believed in. So. Right, did anybody spot any Doctor Who debuts?
I couldn't quite remember. Is this the first time we've seen them call back to an adventure in a previous episode?
I don't think it is, but I don't think we mentioned it last time.
Because it was right at the start, wasn't it? They were like, this is just like that time in...
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
They did that a couple of times.
Cavemen. It was cavemen they talked
They mentioned
about.
the cavemen, and I'm sure they mentioned another one as well. They mentioned at least two.
The idea of them kind of having a continuancy between the idea of them kind of having process and sort of a journey between the different adventures. That was kind of the first time we've addressed that on this programme anyway.
Yeah.
Programme, that's how we're doing it, isn't it? On this series. It's just interesting them kind of harking back and doing a reference. Because,
nice feeling of continuity.
Yeah, continuity, that's the word I spent 5 minutes looking for.
I didn't spot anything. Don't know about you.
I don't know if it was the first time, but they referenced not being able to change certain points in history. Has that happened before?
I don't know.
So
maybe during this.
They mentioned during the Aztecs as well.
Okay. Yeah. At the end of this episode, it was quite a hard focus on the fact that even if they wanted to change the outcome of the French Revolution, no matter what they did, it wouldn't change. There would be counter events.
Yeah.
So I think they said, for example, if they tried to shoot Napoleon, the bullet would miss, no matter what they did. Which is very prominent later on in modern Who.
Full steam ahead to the next one because it's a 4-parter.
Woohoo! Giants.
Yeah,
Land of the Giants, Giants, ants and things. So look out for that. Join us again next week when that will be released. In the meantime, why don't you click here on my face to subscribe, and you can click on Rob's face to go to our parent show, Doctor Who Debrief, which covers the modern day Doctor Who and such. So thank you very much, and see you guys later. Cheerio.